Instagram. Guys, if you've chosen Instagram, I'm very excited to get into this because honestly, in my opinion, it's probably the most challenging network out of all of them to really start growing an engaged audience. It's by far and away, there are the most algorithms that come into play of who's going to see your post, who's going to engage with your post. So I'm not saying any of this to scare you, but Instagram in particular, it's going to take a little bit more work. Some people think it's as simple as just taking a picture and posting it on there, which that works. But if you really want to grow your audience, there's a little bit more that goes into it, which leads me right into my tip number one. This, in my opinion, is a vanity platform. Now, let me explain on that. Again, all of you know I love Instagram. I love posting pictures, love posting videos, but there's a lot of people that expect you to post a little bit higher quality pictures and content. If you're posting fuzzy selfies or not really good, or blurry selfies or blurry pictures, people are going to see that and they're not going to, again, it goes back to an example I like to use. If you're posting content that's not really connecting and your audience isn't going to engage with, they're not going to come back. They're actually going to stop following you. So you have to put a little bit more thought and a little bit more work into putting that content out. Well, I'm going to give you, this is kind of a little bonus tip with tip number one is, if you're actually using Instagram, if you're starting to use it, so one of the mistakes that I see is just posting one picture and then being done. If you're posting content on Instagram, post multiple pictures. As you've probably seen, you can swipe to the right and you can see multiple photos. You are actually going to be rewarded for that. This is one of the kind of a little secret tip of Instagram is Instagram wants to have people there longer, more engaged, longer. So the more photos that you post, the more people that Instagram is going to let your photos be seen by. So that's kind of a little secret tip from tip number one, being a vanity platform. People post these pictures of themselves in front of planes, expensive cars. Don't do that. Post pictures of the things you enjoy. This is definitely one of those platforms when it comes to document, don't create, is you can post pictures of your family. You can post pictures of you in the office and what's going on in the office. People love that, or the videos that you're doing. But again, make sure they're a little bit, you have to put a little bit more time. I'm not saying you have to edit them perfectly. There's a lot of great filters and a lot of great settings right there on Instagram that you can use, but make sure you put a little bit more thought when it comes to putting out content and those photos and videos you're putting on Instagram. Tip number two is I personally believe you need to have a business account instead of a personal account on Instagram. And here's why. A personal account is awesome, but your reach is limited. Instagram has actually talked about they are rewarding people who are using a business account. What's the difference? First and foremost, if you have a business account, you can actually create a contact me tab, which I think is awesome. If you're posting great content out there and somebody decides they want to contact you, maybe they see a picture of a home that you were doing something in, or you're doing a renovation with a real estate agent, or you were working on a project with your real estate agent and you posted a picture and there's no way to contact you. The only way with a personal profile is they have to send you a DM, a direct message. But if you have a business profile, there's actually a contact me button that you can add so they can contact you directly. Sometimes that's through DM, sometimes they actually has your phone number or email on there. So a business profile, for that one reason that people actually can contact you through a business page, is awesome. Plus, I want to talk about analytics. With Instagram, analytics are a very big part of it. Watching what your audience is engaged with, watching what they want to see more of. Analytics are key when it comes to Instagram. And that's why when I tell people, if you're just getting started with social media, sometimes Instagram can be a little bit more challenging. There's a little bit more you have to think about, that you have to really work on when it comes to Instagram. And again, not trying to scare you. I'm telling you what to expect. Because if you want to use Instagram, if that's the first platform you're going to use, awesome. I'm all in. I'd love to help you answer questions. But just know that you're going to have to be spending a little bit more time, a little bit more energy into Instagram. In the long run, it can be a great play. I personally have got deals from Instagram. So it's a great platform. It's a great network. But just make sure you're starting to think about that content a little bit more. Tip number 3 for Instagram is Instagram stories. I love Instagram stories. I'm still not perfect at them. I'm getting better and better. But what's cool about Instagram stories is once you take a story, it disappears in 24 hours. It doesn't stay on the platform. So especially when you're doing something throughout the day, if you're going to a closing, if you're, maybe you had a great experience with a borrower, you can do these short little stories. And what's great is typically they're about a 15-second clip. You can go over that, but these little stories as you're going throughout your day, people become engaged. And again, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is Instagram is going to reward you for keeping people engaged on the platform. So if you're doing stories multiple times a day, your audience is going to see more and more of that. So it's a great way to really get people engaged with your content, seeing your content, is doing these little stories. And a little bonus tip with this as well is when it comes to Instagram stories, again, you want to engage with other people's content as well. You can't just expect to go out and throw out great content and everybody engage with you and you not engage with everybody. If you do that, again, Instagram sees that. Facebook and Instagram, remember, they're owned by Facebook. So algorithms are very similar. Whatever you hear, or if somebody said differently, it's not true. They're owned by the same company and algorithms are very similar. Yes, they're different content is going to be rewarded a little bit differently, but when it comes to posting Instagram stories, you want to not only post your stories, but go engage with others, and you're going to start to see others follow you, be more engaged with you as you engage with others on the platform. All right, here's my big bonus for Instagram is collaboration is key. As I've grown my brand, as I've seen others grow their brand on Instagram, you have to collaborate with others. Finding other influencers, which is a whole nother topic we'll get into, but finding other people who have a similar following to yours or a bigger following, being able to collaborate, share content, being able to tag those people in your posts, it will help your audience grow as well. So collaborate, see how you can add value to other people on Instagram, and I promise you, this one bonus will help you grow your audience and your engagement faster than anything else. You have to be willing to collaborate, you have to be willing to work with others. As you do, like I said, you will definitely see your audience being more engaged and grow much quicker.